Hey there guys, and welcome back to Alex Invests. For those of you who don't know, I'm Alex. I'm a business owner with a degree in economics, and I've been investing since I'm 18 years old. As we can see, the markets are pretty green today, but there's two stocks that aren't green for the first time in a long time, and that's NEO and XPEV, and that's why I picked up some more shares this morning. Today we are going to be talking about XPEV, but before we get into that, I just want to say, please like and subscribe, guys. It really does help out the channel, and I'm trying to grow this for more stock picks for you guys. Alright, so let's get right into it here. Now, obviously, XPEV over the last basically 2 weeks has had an insane run-up, and this is the first day, really, that we're seeing a down day. And that just instantly compelled me to buy more shares here. Because the EV industry companies, as well as sort of the new clean energy companies, have been on an absolute tear lately, guys. I mean, it continues for Tesla today. It continues for Li Auto today. So anyways, I want to stick to XPEV here for this video though. So I want to go through a bit of the Q3 2020 earnings. Now, I know this came out a little while ago on the 12th of November, but there's a couple things that I want to highlight as part of the reason for the big run-up we've had. Also, the big news that came out on the 20th of November, which is that XPeng announced their next generation of autonomous driving vehicles. This is huge, guys. Apparently, it is a competitor to Tesla's autonomous driving, and that is a big reason we saw such a spike in the price lately. Now, before we get into that, I just wanted to mention something for sort of the newer investors that are watching this channel. And that is talking about the price of NEO compared to the price of XPEV. You know, I've been hearing from some of my friends as well who have just sort of started investing. Oh, but XPEV's price is higher than NEO's price. How is that possible? Well, that's where you have to look at the market cap of the companies, guys. This is very important. So the market cap of XPEV right now is $48 billion, but the market cap of NEO is $72 billion. So that is almost double the market cap that XPEV has, and that is the difference there when you're looking at the price. So NEO is a bigger company, and although the share price is less expensive, that price difference is reflected in the market cap actually of the companies, and that's how we can tell that NEO is actually still a bigger company than XPEV. Alright guys, so here we are at the Q3 2020 financial report, but it's important to note that this is unaudited information, right? So they could technically be lying here. I mean, it would count as fraud, obviously, but because it's unaudited, we're not actually 100% sure that this information is accurate, although it likely is, and I just wanted to say that before I got into the actual report here. So, for third quarter 2020 operational highlights, first we have deliveries of vehicles reached 8,578, and that is an increase of 165.7% from the second quarter of 2020 alone. That's only 1 quarter ago here, and also obviously a 265.8% increase from third quarter of 2019. And these are both massive numbers, but what really speaks to me here is the 165.7% increase from just 3 months here, really. Now, the deliveries of the P7 reached 6,210 compared with only 325 in the second quarter of 2020. These are huge increases, and just show how much this company is growing, you know? And something else to mention about the P7 here, they actually did unveil as well on the 20th of November a new P7 limited edition called the P7 Wing, and this is a new model of the P7 which you can get obviously for a much higher price. So we can see sort of the direction that they're heading with this, you know. XPEV has more reasonably priced cars where the G3 and the P7 are around $35,000. Now, if you look at this limited edition, it's actually up at $63,000 approximately if you want the 4-wheel drive. So we can see any good car company will do this. Look at Mercedes, for example. They have their really high cost cars, and then they have a lower cost model, which a lot of people will buy because of their higher priced models. And we're seeing XPEV do the same thing. It's a very smart business strategy here. Now, moving on to total revenues here, right? We can see again for the third quarter of 2020, they had 293.1 million US dollars as their revenue, and that represents 342.5% from the same period in 2019, but also an increase of 236.9% again since the second quarter. Now, what's interesting about this number when we look at the revenues from vehicle sales is they're pretty much the same. Now, the numbers really speak for themselves as far as growth is concerned, but another interesting thing is those similar numbers between revenue and revenue from sales, which shows how focused they actually are in the EV space. Now, another great number to look at here is the cash and cash equivalents, as well as the restricted cash and short-term investments. So we can see they have almost $3 billion here as of September 30th, 2020. And that is also something that is great to see because it shows that they have cash to make these advancements, which will lead them to growth into the future. All right, here we have two other numbers which are also very important. So research and development expenses, we can see an increase of 98.7% spent on R&D compared with second quarter of 2020, and this is exactly what we want to see because it shows how much they're trying to grow their company here with research and development. We're in the EV space, we're in the space where you need to be able to have that technology and advance your technology as much as you can because that's what people are looking for in these cars, and that's exactly what XPEV is trying to give us here. And loss from operations, again, we see the same thing. We have an increase in the third quarter compared with the second quarter as well as the same period in 2019. And again, it's exactly what we want to see. They have higher loss from operations, but this is a good thing because they are growing as a company. All right, now I'm not going to bore you guys with the financial statements like the balance sheet and net loss from operations and stuff like that. I'll go through that on my own time and give you guys a price prediction instead. So now let's get into this next generation autonomous driving, which XPEV just announced on the 20th of November and created a big spike as well in this company. So XPeng has significantly increased their autonomous driving technology by using not only the traditional way of autonomous driving works, but also with their new LiDAR technology. So with this increase in their technology, they actually stand to go against Tesla here and NIO in the robo-taxi game here. They were the two that were able to do this in the past. And now we have XPEV joining in on those potential gains in the market as well. Now, this was a huge differentiator for Tesla and NIO, but as we're seeing XPEV now coming in, we might also see other players in the game. Now, we're not sure if XPEV is planning to go into the robo-taxi market, but they definitely have the technology to do so. Alright, now I just wanted to show you guys the chart for XPEV here since sort of the beginning of October. We can see we started off at $18 and we're all the way up at $68 now, which is crazy. I did buy actually some shares of XPEV at around this price today here because I do see much more growth in this company. And even with this huge run-up that we've seen, especially since sort of the 18th of October, so pretty much a week and a bit here. And yes, it's a lot I agree, but it's not fully unfounded. I mean, we see the news, we see the growth in the financials, we see good things happening for this company, you know. And if you're thinking it's going to go back down to the 40s, there is no way. Do I see a little bit of a drop and maybe some consolidation here? I hope I do, actually, because we can't just keep going straight up. Like I always say, that's unsustainable. But read today, and I did end up picking up some shares. I ended up picking up some shares for NEO today as well. We can see here there was a big run up here, obviously, but again, we see more of this kind of consolidation, sort of price floors for the stock, if you will, you know. So again, NEO, we'll see this stock be much higher as well. I really have a price target of $150 maybe on this stock in the next couple of years, so that's big. And XPEV as well, most analysts even have this stock at around the $200 mark in the next few years, even some of them in the next 12 months. I have this stock again at around $150 to $200 in the next 3 to 5 years. So they're both still really good investments. And do you maybe want to wait for a bit of a drop? It's up to you. You can and make those couple extra percents, yes, but we're not going to see it go back down to here, and we're not going to see this company fail. So that's what's really important to see here and really important to mention. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for the video today. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment. And other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.